Hi everybody, Miss Bunzo here with a short yin yoga session for doing at the end of the day, right before you go to sleep, if you have time. This will enable you to get a better night's sleep. So you're going to start with just a mat. You can have a blanket nearby, but you don't need much else. And come down onto your bellies into Sphinx pose, just like I am. So to show you at an angle, you're going to take your elbows right underneath the shoulders, lengthen your legs out and let your big toes point in towards each other as the heels relax out to the side. And then see if you can relax your glute muscles, the muscles here, so that this positive stress can be transferred into your lumbar spine, your low spine. It's all right if your elbows are ahead of your shoulders to decrease the amount of compression in your spine, or you could have them right underneath, but try not to have the elbows out to the side as that destabilizes the shoulders. So find the position that works best based on how much pressure you're feeling in your low back. You want to feel kind of a mild, dull achiness as the vertebrae of the spine are going in towards each other. Then you can keep your head in line with your spine. You could drop your chin towards your chest, or you could tilt your head to one side or the other. We'll hold this shape for just about 2 minutes. So I'll put my timer on, and you can use any kind of timer on your phone, or you could even use your watch if you have one. So with each of your deep exhales, see if you can relax your glute muscles and let your belly and your hip bones sink down towards the mat. After a day kind of spent with your spine in flexion, kind of slouched forward, this will help restore balance and mobility to that low spine. If you can, take deep breaths in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Try to stay in each of these poses for 1 to 2 minutes, as that's how long it takes for your connective tissue, your bones, your joints, ligaments, and tendons, and muscle fascia to absorb the stress, the positive stress. Remember never to put up with too much discomfort or pain. All right, from here, slowly ease out of your Sphinx pose. Move your elbows out to the side. Stack one palm on top of the other, and just place your palm down. See if you can take deep inhales in and let your belly balloon out. And then as you exhale, just release that breath. And with it, the tension that you've accumulated in that low back. Just a few more like that. And then go ahead and come back into your Sphinx pose. Take your hands slightly wider than your shoulders and start to lengthen your arms. Keep the glutes engaged now, because we're going to move into a little bit more of an active yang movement, okay, called kind of Sphinx shoulder dips. Okay, so here, inhale, take one shoulder to the opposite side, exhale back, dip the opposite shoulder towards that front hand, and then exhale back. Okay, a couple more times. Dip the shoulder, then take it back, dip the shoulder, and take it back. One last one on each side. And then slowly ease back down. Take your hands right next to the chest and press yourself up to all fours. Go ahead and move your hands so that they're right underneath the shoulders. Pull that low belly in, round your spine, and drop your head. Pause here in what we call cat pose. Take just a few more cycles of breath here. And then come back to that neutral spine. Come onto your seat. Take one shin in front and the other leg back so that you can move that knee as far back as you'd like to stretch your back hip flexor. Your front knee puts your hip in external rotation. Your back knee is turning your hip to internal rotation. Find as much length in your spine as you can, and then start to twist towards or past that front knee. And then try to relax this back hip down and take a look over your shoulder. Pause here just for a couple of minutes. In this twisted deer pose. It's more of a yang kind of type of pose because you're putting a little bit of muscular action into twisting the spine, but the legs themselves are in a relaxed position, a more yin approach. Letting the hips kind of absorb this pressure so that you can unstick any tightness that's accumulated in the hips, especially if you've been sitting at a computer for a lot of the day. Kind of feel for where you meet resistance. Remember to relax the muscles in the targeted area, mainly the hips, in this twisted deer pose. And then just pause just for a little bit longer. And being patient. Just a few more cycles of breath here. And then go ahead and slowly unwind the neck and then the rest of your spine. Take your legs out front, give them a shake, and then you're simply going to come to the other side. So now the other leg is in front and this leg is internally rotated in the back. Try to get both hips to be heavy in the center, but you're going to notice your back hip lifts them up a little bit. And then keeping the legs relaxed so that the hips can enjoy that internal external rotation. Twist over towards your front knee. Note where you meet resistance and then pause. Taking just a few minutes here in your twisted deer pose. And balance effort with ease. Don't twist your spine so much that you feel kind of sharp pain or any discomfort, but it should feel good. It should be like you're wringing out your spine, like you wring out a towel. Getting that twist to be through the neck as well, taking a look over that back shoulder. Just about 5 or 6 more slow cycles of breath here. And helping your brain shift towards a more relaxed state. And then go ahead and unwind your spine. Bring your legs back around. Go ahead and give them a good shake. And then take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. And then just go ahead and windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Releasing your low back, getting the blood to flow to the muscles that support your spine, as well as into your hip joint. And then the next time you come to center, go ahead and come forward again. I'll show you from the side. We're going to come into a wing dragon. So take your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Let the left thigh, this back thigh, be at a diagonal. Wag that right knee back and forth and then let it wing out to the side. Hold it here. Try to relax that front inner thigh as well as that back hip flexor. Just about 6 more cycles of breath here. And then go ahead and bring that front knee back to center. Walk your hands in and just drag that knee next to the left. Come into either a full plank with straight arms or come down to your forearms. You can even interlace your fingers. And then lengthen your legs behind you and come into a plank. Just charging up the legs and the low belly muscle. Just for a few more cycles of breath. Lower the knees, come back to a tabletop, and then take the left foot to the outside of the left hand, just your opposite leg. Again, make sure there's a diagonal in your back thigh. Try to relax that thigh so that the hip flexor lengthens, and let the left knee wing out any amount, whatever works for your structure. Can you relax with each of your exhales? Just about 12 more. And unhinging the front of your hips, as well as continuing to work on external rotation in the hips. Almost there. Just one more cycle of breath. And then go ahead and bring that knee back to center and then drag that leg next to the other. This time, keep the arms straight, curl your toes under, and then come into a full plank, or what we call full plank in yoga. And then keeping the legs and the belly engaged, bend your elbows and lower down. Come on to one side. I'll come on to this side. Okay, just so that you can see where my arm goes. You could stay up on your forearm for now. You're gonna roll your top shoulder back and grab your top foot. From there, then you can lay down, and then don't let your knee come up, but keep it hip distance, and then ease it back. So you should feel a pull in your top shoulder and top hip flexor. If your hand can't reach your foot, you can always use a strap. When you're ready, come onto your belly and then come on to the opposite side. Again, you can start with your head up. Take your top leg behind you, roll that top shoulder back, grab your foot. Don't let the heel be higher than your hip, but keep it in line with your hip. And then ease that top knee back. Try to relax your top quad and your hip flexor. and hold it here for just a minute. And then slowly relax that top leg. Come back onto your stomach. And we're gonna end in legs at the wall. So scoot over to your wall. Get your hips as close as you can. And then swing the legs up. Pause in legs at the wall for about 5 minutes. And if you'd like, you can turn on the meditation that I've posted following this called Meditation for a Better Sleep. Take care and have a good night's sleep.